Hello, we are the Dream Team, and our dedicated core of expert marketers include Raina Bryant, Tiana Drummond, Joelle Rivera, Sandra Whitmore, and yours truly, Emmanuel Harris. We are the Dream Team, and we are going to help Adidas increase their sales in the U.S. by proposing to sponsor America's favorite league, the NFL. The key to the survival of a company is the customer. Products sold to the customers produce the revenue needed to make a company profitable, and without that, it is almost impossible for a company to thrive. According to World Soccer Talk, Adidas is the number 2 sports company throughout the world, but our sales have been lacking in the United States. This has been an ongoing issue and overall has been holding the company back. Within a year, sales had fallen 23% in the US, pushing the company behind Nike and Under Armour, and this is something we are looking to change. Overall, we are looking to Americanize the company to gain back popularity in the United States. Cedric Rossi stated Adidas is suffering from a too European image, which could be affecting the overall sales in the US. We believe the best way to Americanize the brand and gain the image and popularity needed to bring our sales back up in the US would be to sponsor none other than America's sport, football. Endorsing individual athletes is good, but what happens when those athletes get injured or wind up in circumstances that could tarnish their image? This could lead to even more loss in sales, but by sponsoring the entire NFL, you wouldn't have to worry about that. This also brings along great advertising and marketing opportunities that we may not have had previously, including through the NFL Network and during actual football games. Adidas' mission statement is strive to be the global leader in the sporting goods industry with brands built on a passion for sports and a sporting lifestyle. Currently, they have been doing a decent job sticking to this mission. Regarding environmental scanning financially, Adidas was on a downward slope in the US for 3 straight years. But so far for 2015, there has been a 6% increase in sales, which is a major move in the right direction, and with the help of our proposal, the sales should continue to increase. The cost to sponsor the NFL could be considered a weakness, but with the company's strengths, it will still turn into a winning situation for Adidas. None of their competitors currently sponsor the NFL. Their global presence is already strong with their distribution network and branding ability. These strengths can increase overall sales within the target market of individuals aged 13 through 40 who are into fitness and sports, particularly football. The current business climate for Adidas is one filled with opportunities. With an increase in sports participants and health conscious individuals, the industry is growing. So there is plenty of growth opportunity for Adidas. With more people within its target market, this will lead to more product awareness, which in turn will lead to more sales. As a sponsor of the NFL, there will be several impacts on the regular operations for Adidas. The first change will be in management with the hiring of a public relations manager, who will be solely responsible for handling the brand's image as it pertains to our sponsorship of the NFL. The company will also need a social media representative to reintroduce the brand on our website and all social media sources, highlighting our relationship with the NFL, disseminating information about upcoming events, and keeping our audience engaged. The Human Resources Department will have to incorporate new policy changes within the organization to make sure that there are policies in place which protect the confidentiality of both Adidas and the NFL. We also want to make sure that there are policies that prevent any employees of Adidas speaking negatively about the NFL. As their official sponsor, it is just as important to us to protect the NFL's brand image as it is for us to protect our integrity. The marketing division of Adidas will have the largest impact to the company. Marketing will launch a huge campaign for the NFL, and that will be the driving force to the change in our sales. The campaign will include TV commercials, internet pop-up ads on ESPN, and other sports sites. The faces of the campaign will be the NFL athletes that are contracted spokesmen of Adidas. Adidas would have to abide by the individual rights of the athletes according to the collective bargaining agreement. That document is the underlying contract between the players and the NFL. The deal excludes Adidas from being able to provide any on-field apparel. There should be no licensing issues with the sponsorship. We understand that Nike is the official apparel provider for the NFL. Pursuant to the current NFL policy, our contracted NFL spokesman will not be allowed to wear the Adidas brand 90 minutes before or after a game, or at any other league-organized media event. The sponsorship does include the right to have Adidas reps presented at all times. The sponsorship does include the right to have Adidas reps present at all times and at all events. The sponsorship will give Adidas the right to use all NFL trademarks across various marketing channels, including branded content, advertising, and promotional materials. The product of this sponsorship will be the shoes, apparel, and gear. The relationship between the two companies will bring exposure and drive sales for Adidas, using the previous sponsorship that GM had with the NFL as a template. The price of the contract with the NFL will cost about $150 million. Verizon is another sponsor of the NFL that pays about $50 million a year for its sponsorship. We want to be a top sponsor and have a larger share of rights with the NFL. Our goal is to double our overall sales after the first 3 years, and that will happen because of the increased exposure and publicity of Adidas. Chart 1 shows the projected units sold in millions, while Chart 2 shows the net profit in billions. Sales for footwear products are projected to increase immensely once our sponsorship begins with the NFL. According to Statista.com, Adidas produced 258 million pairs of footwear products in 2014. We intend to increase the total number of production sales to about 270 million pairs of shoes instead of just 258 million. We are projecting that we sell an additional 10 million units the first year, then an additional 20 million units on top of that for the second year. Finally, we are predicting that by the third year we will be producing 320 million pairs of shoes that will be sold. According to SoulCollector.com, it costs about $28 for a sneaker that will retail for $100. Now, since we are able to buy in bulk, we receive a discounted price. This allows us to sell our shoes for less than $100 so we can beat our competitors. $75 look a lot better than $100 for the average consumer. With these projections, we are scheduled to make a profit of over $12.6 billion after the first year. By the second year, we will increase that number by over $2 billion. After year 2 of this campaign, Adidas will profit $14.5 billion. By the end of the third year, we expect Adidas to make a leap and double its overall sales. We are projecting a total profit of over $16.9 billion. This sponsorship with the NFL will double what our company is worth today. Our proposal is to have Adidas established as the official sponsor of the NFL. Let me say that again. Our proposal is to have Adidas established as the official sponsor of the entire NFL. This would cost us somewhere in the range of about $150 million per year. The sponsorship would also include multiple NFL-related marketing campaigns, as well as televised advertisements. GM was a previous sponsor of the entire NFL, and they paid on an average of $150 million per year. The amount of people that will be able to view our brand and our products will increase immensely. According to TVByTheNumbers.com, NFL games on CBS, Fox, and NBC average 20.3 million viewers. This will greatly increase our chances of expanding our market and bringing our brand back to the top in the United States. On minimum, we should be able to double the overall sales of the company within 3 years. We expect to do that by increasing brand recognition as well as our target market with the sponsorship. In year 1, Adidas Executive Board approves the Dream Team's marketing plan. We will begin negotiations with we will begin negotiations with the NFL. A formal unveiling of brand's gridiron Adidas line receives rave reviews. Commercials will be aired using NFL athletes signed to endorsement contracts with Adidas. The marketing of Adidas shoes is proven to be effective as sales revenue continue to climb. In year two, sales revenues are climbing steadily, and fourth quarter sales from 2016 reflect the Adidas is close to reclaiming the number two spot in the sports apparel industry. Adidas sales climbed to 270 million units, and the brand reclaims the number two spot. Research and development is close to completing a new shoe for 2018. In year three, Adidas unveils new apparel including the highly touted new shoe. Adidas shoe sales reached its projected end of the year sales of 320 million units and remains strong at the number two spot. The Dream Team plans to evaluate the success and execution of our strategy by recording metrics quarterly. Each quarter we'll be overviewing internal metrics and external indicators and drivers. These metrics will be used to analyze our top consumers and observe why they are our top consumers. The first year we plan to benchmark the metrics and sales of merchandise by reviewing the reports from the previous 2 years. That will give us an idea of what effects the sponsorship has had on our company. We will also review the quarterly reports of other companies that sponsor the NFL. We can look at the sales reports that they had before and during their sponsorship to see if we have comparable results. Each quarter, we'll know whether we're on the right path, and if something in the plan needs to be altered, we're able to fix it. At the midpoint of the year, we'll compare the prior year's numbers to the current point of the time. Let me say that again. At the midpoint of the year, we'll compare the prior year's numbers to the current point of time. That calculation will give us the data needed to make sure we're successfully hitting our goals. This report was commissioned to examine ways we can reach goals of doubling the brand's overall sales by year 3 of our marketing plan and increasing visibility and sustainability of Adidas in North America. The Dream Team will make these goals a reality. In keeping with the brand's 2015 mantra, creating the new, we will move into territory not previously explored to the fullest extent. We will make Adidas a top fiscal producer in the U.S. sports good industry by increasing the company's visibility in national platforms through the sponsorship of one of America's most beloved sports, football. Adidas has already made inroads by contracting some of the NFL's premier players. Adidas has the necessary components to turn its period of decline into consistently rising U.S. sales with branding, partnerships, sponsorships, and endorsements that attract football enthusiasts, as well as those who appreciate fashion, forward quality sports apparel. This concludes our presentation. Thank you for your time and consideration of our proposal. We now open the floor for questions and feedback.